So it's not unusual for there to be teenagers and working in a farm.
A 14-year-old can work at a marijuana growing?
It doesn't matter whether it's a marijuana farm or an apple farm.
Anyway, my friend Jillian Michaels was over on CNN the other day. She was actually in studio with us in the afternoon and then flew to New York to do CNN, and she was on with Abby Phillip. And this Abby Phillip, you know, Dana Bash, I'm always watching her she just doesn't seem like she believes anything she's saying. Abby Phillip, there's just not a lot going on in there. The woman went to Harvard, but there's just it's like Homer Simpson, you zoom in on the brain and it's just like a ping pong bouncing back and forth. That's pretty much what's going on there. They got into it about the illegal children working at a weed farm. And Jillian,
let's look at what just happened at the Glass House marijuana farm. Here's what people don't want to see. On the other side, they don't want to see people throwing rocks into the cars of federal agents. They don't want to hear that someone supposedly opened fire on them. They also don't want to learn that there are a bunch of kids there that are undocumented or unaccompanied, and they think this is crazy talk, and we should be focusing on that. And for one thing, how did those kids get there?
Well, I just want to also added that farm work is exempted from child labor laws. So
you're telling me undocumented?
I'm not saying the undocumented. I'm not talking about
at a marijuana farm.
I'm not talking about the undocumented part, but according to this statement, in this country, not just at farm, not at marijuana farms, at all
semantics.
farms.
Look at the reality of what we're talking about. How did an unaccompanied, undocumented 14-year-old in the middle of the day?
I believe, and many people might believe, children should be subject to child labor laws.
Absolutely.
But it's true in this country that when it comes to agricultural work, they're not. And that includes marijuana farms. So the legality of their status is a separate issue. But the fact of children being there is not actually something that is necessarily illegal.
I have a really hard time believing
So there's that. So it's not unusual for there to be teenagers and working in a farm.
A 14-year-old can work at a marijuana growing?
It doesn't matter whether it's a marijuana farm or an apple farm.
A kid can work at a bar.
What? Abby Phillip is extraordinarily dumb or making things up or something. What are you talking about? You're saying illegal children who are 14 years old are allowed to work at marijuana farms? What law is that? What law says an illegal child is allowed? She's full on making it up. And of course, Jillian, who's absolutely brilliant, and I was asking her because she was telling me she was doing CNN for the first time that night. Our interview will be up, what day? A couple days from now. I was asking her, why even bother do CNN at this point? She was like, well, if we can ever pilfer a little truth out of the thing, then it's worth doing. I think that's probably debatable at some level. But what are you talking about, Abby Phillip? And why would you even take that position, Abby Phillip? Do you want it so that the 14-year-old should have to pick, let's say it is legal for an illegal 14-year-old to work on a marijuana farm. Is that what you want for them? Why is your knee-jerk reaction to defend that? By the way, Connor did a little searching while we were showing that video. So it sounds like, as it pertains to ICE identifying themselves, that they actually don't have to identify themselves during the arrest, and they have to identify themselves after. Is that correct? So that is interesting to me. That's something, you want to debate about something in good faith. That's something we could have a good faith debate about. I don't like the idea of a bunch of hooded, masked guys showing up and just grabbing people, and you have no idea who they are. And if you had a firearm and if I was walking down the street and a bunch of hooded people with no identification tried to grab me and I was carrying, what would you do? There's an interesting, I'm not illegal, but you get the point, right? There's something interesting to debate about identification. Okay, but there isn't something to debate about the masks themselves because we know what the other side will do. Anyway, we'll dive more into that, and I'd be happy to have legal experts on both sides discuss it.